Hey guys, it's Sydney. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing with my Poshmark Q&A series. These questions are coming from my PoshBoss HQ group, which I will link down below if you would like to join that. But for today's question, we are going to be talking about how to sort of raise your average sale price. So Shirley wrote to me on the Facebook group and she says, how do I ease into a higher price market? I started my closet with Dress Barn and Loft brands. I've slowly begun to pick up pieces like Joe's Jeans, Calvin Klein, Betsy Johnson, she names a few others. Still, I think a lot of my original followers still see my closet as a mall brand. I've changed my closet name and rebranded, and I'm still working on growing followers. Still can't sell any high-end items. Okay, so I actually had this problem as well when I first started after a few months. Because I feel like when you first start and you are basically selling things from your own closet, that you are not as concerned with making a profit, or you're not really concerned with your sale price because, you know, they're things that you would have donated or, you know, just gotten rid of anyway. So, and you kind of sell them like for whatever you can get for them, basically. So my advice when you get to this point of, you know, trying to transition from selling like what she calls mall brands to better quality items, that you are going out and you're finding these items, or maybe you are, you know, buying them from wholesale distributors, or however you're getting them. You really have to put more of an emphasis into your branding, first of all. And also, you need to make sure that your photographs look more professional. You need to invest in a lighting kit. You need to invest into a background, you know, whether that's a wood background or a solid white background. You need to make your background look professional. You need to, you know, make sure that you're not just taking them like in an empty room, or there's not like, you know, your bed in the background. You really need a plain, solid background. People on Poshmark really like styled photos of clothing, and I know a lot of people don't really like putting time into this, but you know, if you're taking pictures on a plain background and you're still not selling things at the price points that you want, maybe you can consider doing a few styled photos. And you know, if you're taking your pictures on a mannequin, this could be as simple as adding like a necklace to the mannequin, or adding like a sweater over the top, and just making sure that you put in your listing like that those items are not included, like that it's just for a styled reference. But, you know, you can consider doing styled photos that will make your pictures look better. Change your pictures up. You know, not everything is going to look good on a mannequin. Not everything is going to look good on a flat lay. If you have something pictured on a mannequin and you're not getting any traffic on it, or it's not getting a ton of likes and you want to rephotograph it, try it on a flat lay. And I know people talk about the white fur rug and how it's played out, but like honestly, like the white fur rug makes things look really good. It gives texture to the photo. It provides like a nice bright white background for the item. And not everything is going to look good on a white background as well. Some stuff you need kind of like a darker, more contrasted background. But, you know, just change things up. Do whatever you need to do to kind of, you know, add that little extra something to your pictures to make it stand out. So, you know, you want to focus on your pictures. You also want to focus on your price points. You know, I don't know how much you're spending on your inventory. Like, I know how much I tend to spend on my inventory, but like, you really need to not overspend on your inventory. Like, just because something has tags on it, just because something is new with tags or is what you might consider higher end, it does not mean that you need to spend a ton of money on that, or that it's going to sell for, you know, a ridiculously high price point, because it might not. So even if it is a higher end item, or even if it has tags on it, you still need to be aware of how much you are spending on your inventory, because you have to remember that you're reselling it. And people are on Poshmark to feel like they're getting a discount, to feel like they're getting a deal on something. So you're not going to be able to sell it sometimes as at a high price point as you think you are. So you really have to pay attention to what you're spending on your inventory, what the original retail price of the item was. You need to pay attention to trends, and you need to really, you know, just because it's a certain brand that sells for a lot, you have to really look at the item and determine if it's on trend, if it's in demand, if it's, you know, attractive, like if it's in good condition. You have to consider all of these things about the item in terms of being able to sell it at the price point that you want to get for it. Because just because an item is of a popular brand, for example, the first Lululemon piece that I ever found were these like weird crop pants that had this strange like reflective band around the waist that said something about like dance or something like that. And then they were cropped, but they were like wide leg cropped. So that style was not as popular as their like Wonder Unders or their skinny leggings, or, you know, and it took forever to sell them. And I'm pretty sure I took whatever offer I could get to get rid of them. And it's because even though they were Lululemon, they were not a popular style. So, you know, even though it's a popular brand, it didn't sell right away. And it left a bad taste in my mouth for Lululemon. Like, that's since gone away since I found some better stuff. But, like, it was really frustrating that I found, you know, this was the first Lululemon thing that I found and it wasn't selling. So you really have to look at the style of the item and make sure that it's not dated. You know, you really need to work on, like, your comps, like how you comp items. So, you know, you can figure out what something is selling for by searching for the item in the app and under the shopping tab, and then filtering by sold items. And you can kind of see the price points at which that item is selling for. So even if it's something that you considered a high-end brand, you can look up that specific item, type as many keywords in as you can, and see what that item is selling for. You know, it might not be selling for much. And again, you have these people who are selling things from their closets just to get rid of them. They're not concerned about making a profit. And it kind of hurts sellers because that kind of drives down the market price. But you also need to take into consideration the retail price of the item. And you have to keep in mind that the retail price of the item, companies price things and put the retail price on there. Those are priced higher than what they actually want for the item. They are overpricing the item so that they can put the item on sale. And it's a whole psychology thing that goes into, you know, sales and people buying things. And again, the people want to feel like they're getting a deal on it. So you have to factor in all these different things to kind of get to the price point that you want. But, you know, just anything that you can do to make your pictures look better. If you want to invest in a lighting kit, I will link my lighting kit down below. It has been a game changer in my business. Like, I'm using it right now to film with. I use it for videos, I use it for pictures, I use it for everything. Because I used to have to take pictures in my sunroom, like, during a certain time of the day. So I will link my lighting kit down below. That is the first thing that I would encourage you to invest in for your business, is the lighting kit. You need a background. You know, you can use a plain wall in your house. Like, you don't have to buy something. But you need to figure out, like, your style, what you like to do. You also need to take into consideration your camera. I don't know, you know, what kind of camera this person who asked me the question was using. But you need to really think about your camera. I use my iPhone camera. And, you know, that's completely sufficient. If you have a smartphone and you want to use your smartphone camera, that's completely fine. But if you don't have a smartphone camera, I know some people don't have smartphones, or they have older smartphones that might not have as good of a camera on it, then you really need to invest in something that has a good camera on it. Whether that's an iPad or, you know, an actual camera, you need a good camera. If this is your business and this is something that you're doing full time, then you need a camera that's going to take good, clear pictures for your items. And that also goes back to the lighting. If you have bad lighting, it doesn't matter how good of a camera you have. Your pictures are not going to look good. So you need to have good lighting and a good camera. And you need to kind of figure out what you want to do to brand your closet. Like, you need to give your closet like an overall look to it. And that will make it look to customers kind of like you're a more serious seller if your closet has an overall look brand to it. Also, you need to pay attention to how you're pricing things, and you need to be very careful about accepting offers that are very low. You don't need to accept offers on things that are, you know, $5. Like, try not to do that. You know, that's a mistake that I feel like a lot of people make. Like, especially if, you know, if you have something older that's sitting, you just want rid of it, you'll accept any offer on it. Just be very careful with that and try not to do that too often. Like, try not to accept offers on things that are under $10, because that's going to drive your overall price point down, and then people will look in your closet and they will see your sold items. And if they see that you're selling things for $5 and $6, then they're going to think that they're going to get something for $5 or $6 too. They'll be like, oh, this person's just getting rid of stuff, and they'll sell me this at any price just to get rid of it. So be very, very careful about the low offers that you accept. And, you know, try to learn your average sale price and try to stick to that, or try to get it higher. And just, you know, you have to really set it in your mind, I'm not taking less than this amount for this item. Now, don't get emotionally attached to items. You have to be realistic about it. But just be aware of your average sale price, and be aware of what you're accepting offers on and how much those offers are, because your customers can see your sold items. They don't delete. Like, people can see your sold items. So just be very aware of all of these things. You know, your pictures, your branding, your price points. Just, you have to price items at what you want to sell them at. And you also have to source items that you can sell at the right price points. Like, really learn what brands are selling at what price points. You know, I think she mentioned Betsy Johnson. Betsy Johnson is one of those things where it's very expensive on her website if you order something from Betsy Johnson. But if you're not ordering it from Betsy Johnson, you might not get the price point that Betsy Johnson is getting for Betsy Johnson. If you notice, a lot of her things go to stores like TJ Maxx and Ross. You know, you're not going to get that retail price for Betsy Johnson. It's just not. Once it leaves the Betsy Johnson website, the resale value on it is not the best. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not going to be as much as like Lily Pulitzer or Tory Burch or something like that, just because like she has like her certain niche of people who are buying from her, like her certain fan base, and those people are gonna be more likely to buy directly from her. So, you know, that gets kind of into a complicated situation of, you know, it's kind of a designer brand, but then like the resale value is not as much. Vince Camuto, I feel like, is another brand like that. Like, you know, it's expensive in the store, but then if you get it and you try to resell it, the resale value on it is not nearly what it is compared to what the price is in the store. So you kind of have to learn those sorts of brands who just don't translate over well to a resale value. So I hope this video helps you in terms of being aware of your price points and raising your average sale price, because I've absolutely been there where, you know, you feel frustrated because you feel like people want something for nothing, but it really comes down to sourcing quality items and then sticking to your guns on your pricing. So, you know, just be aware of that. Stick to your pricing and just really like focus on your branding and your pictures and your professionalism of your closet as well. So I hope that helps someone today. I do thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope that you will subscribe. Follow me on Instagram for real-time updates. My Instagram is Sydney L. Posh, and make sure you are joining my Posh Boss HQ group, which I will link down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!